Hello, everybody. Welcome to Discussions in the Afterlife. That's Colleen.
That's Jim.
And today, uh, our subject is how learning continues in the afterlife. And it certainly does. And we're going to show that to you during this video. Um, really, what got us thinking about this subject in the first place was soon after our cousin Tommy Finnegan died. And he had dementia for a few years before he passed. And I was in Panama and I asked, "How's Tommy doing?" It had been about a year since he had died. And a woman speaks up and tells me, "We are playing Pictionary with him." Now, that is a real fun way to try to get his brain back together, get his mind working again.
Right. It's like doing physical therapy in the afterlife.
Yeah. But of course, the use of the word Pictionary, that's a new game. I mean, there's nothing old. Probably none of those people played that game while they were alive. All the people we know that are in the afterlife.
Right. Tommy never had children, so it's not like, well, his kids played Pictionary all the time.
Yeah, he never had kids. None of the people we know in the afterlife play Pictionary. So, where did they get that from? That's what we're going to talk about today.
That's right. And so I was doing a study years ago, and just out of the blue, a random comment was heard, and it was a man saying, "Somebody take your password." And another woman said, "Take a chill," which is a modern word to say.
Right, sure. That's not something they would have heard 100 years ago.
Right. And another man says, "Take my phone." Now, there's been phones for a long time, but take my phone is like, here, you're going to be out for a while, take my phone, like a cell phone, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a corded phone. It wouldn't be a phone that's plugged into a wall. You can't like hand that to somebody. It sits there.
Right. You'd be standing right next to it, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then at a different study, I mean, this is all years ago, very random stuff, by the powder room, a man says, "She's got computer for me." So it's kind of bad English, but
Right.
he's talking about computers,
Right.
right? And then by the steps during that same study, a man says, "She wants the password."
And passwords, that's a very new development.
As a kid, we never talked about, it might be like, "Oh, you're coming into my secret club, you need the password."
Right. It was nothing. We did not, 40, 50 years ago, we did not need a password for anything, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank goodness. And then in a different study, I was asking other questions, and a random comment came from a man that said, "Mama says Google it."
Yeah, and that is super current.
That is super current, because I was asking about, like different levels that people might be on. And I guess he's trying to help me out. I don't know, but he says, "Mama says, Google it." And then I asked, just some more questions. I'm, not looking for these answers. But by the stove, a man says, "They can see me on YouTube."
Wow.
I know.
I wonder who he is.
I don't know.
So we can see him.
Right, exactly. So we need to go back and ask. And then the last random comment that I got years ago was a man, and he said, "I started Google his name." So
He learned how to use Google in the afterlife.
right, so maybe he's Googling his own name,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. And down in Panama, I heard some odd comments, the same type of thing. In the bedroom, a man at one point said, "Check on Finnegan's wireless. Call me." In the spare room, a man at one point, "I'm trying to get his cell phone for you." And I hope it wasn't mine. Right.
Sneak in there and get your cell phone.
At a different time, a woman just comes out and is talking to the person next to her. The recorder just captures her voice saying, "Ask for a phone number." We don't know. And another woman at a different point says, own on-phone gym. All phones. They're all about phones, just like we are today. We all have a cell phone.
Yeah, we don't leave our house without a cell phone, and if we forget it, we're kind of in a panic.
Right.
So, we kind of want to test their knowledge on the word Google. They seem to know stuff that we're shocked that they would even use this language.
Right.
Right? So, I did a study.
And a study, just a refresher, a study is when Colleen puts recorders all around her house, that very strategic locations around the house. And she starts them all at the same time. And then she drops them off and sits down and does a study, which is a question answer period.
Right. We come up with all the questions ahead of time.
Right.
So it's a little more organized. So I asked, what is Google? And in the kitchen, a man says, click it, find out.
That's correct.
And then a woman also in the kitchen says, the search engine called Google. So she's even talking about search engines. Like she understands what this is all about.
She gets it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Under the same question, what is Google? By the Glassdoor, a man says, Google said that. And another man says, Google done splash me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
What
but
is that?
He's just like, he chimes in. Maybe he feels like I
Right.
need to say something too. So I asked the question again, what is Google? And in the kitchen, a man says, what is that Google thing? And upstairs, a woman says, tax-free Google is a hit.
It is.
And near the powder room, a man says, Google is a search engine.
And the only way they can learn that, ladies and gentlemen, is by hanging out with us living people, us humans. We're teaching them. They're learning just by watching us. So don't do anything dumb.
They're watching and learning.
Right. Yeah, they're learning from us. Their language skills, just to understand what a search engine is for somebody who might not have been alive for 100 years. That's powerful. So there you have it.
Yeah,
Keep the education going.
absolutely. And all of you should subscribe, share it with your friends, give us a thumbs up. Right? Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, we appreciate all the help, people, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.